Okay, let's start discussing observation. Observation is one of the method of data collecting. It is the primary. When we talk about the primary method of collecting the data, we talk about the observation as well. Like interview, there is another way to collect the data, that is the observation. Observation is very interesting. You want to know, or you want to understand the behavior and actions of other, so you go for the observations. So you might have witnessed in the movies especially that the behavior of the criminal is being witnessed by many police officers. Few are in front of the criminal and few are behind the glass. So you might have seen in the movies. So that is also part of the observation, and through observation you collect the data of the event particularly. For example, if anyone would come to observe my class, so he would be collecting data for some kind of further using the data of observation. For example, he would be having the checklist, and in the checklist he will be marking about the factors he has about the teaching or the classroom or etc. So it is the structured observation. It is called the structured observation. Write it down. It is called the structured observation. And the other one is the participant observation. In the participant observation, the observer is a participant, and like the agencies people become sometimes they go into the jail and they become the inmate just to learn about the criminal or the way he performed the crime. So they become their close friends. So this is one of the way you collect the data. Very interesting, but that happens. And there are other ways the agencies collect the data. So basically they are the participant observer, in which they intermingle and they become same like the other people. Okay? So these are the ways you collect the data. Define observation and discuss the observation may help you to solve the business. Action and behavior I talked about. Observation concern the planned watching. When we say what is the definition, write it down. Observation concern the planned watching. It is the planned watching. It is the planned watching, recording, analysis and interpretation of behavior, actions or events. It is the planned watching, recording, analysis and interpretation of behavior, actions or events. One of my friend told me that when he was in England, so while being there, he had an odd job of observing the cars who are crossing the signals. So basically what he did, he was keep noting down that how many cars are moving at what time, because they want to set the time of the signal. So you see one of the ways of way you observe. Observation, through observation you collect the data of the behavior and you record, and then you analyze and interpret the behavior. Next is demonstrate the ability to make an informed decision on an appropriate types of observational method for a specific study. Next, that is not the scope of our discussion right now. Next, okay, explain the issues related to participant observation and structured observation. Participant observation, I am repeating myself. Participant observation is the one in which the participant become the part of the event. Okay, for example, if someone come as a participant observer, he would become a student. Like in the movie Main Hoon Na, Shah Rukh Khan became a student. So he was a participant basically, though his age was over university, but he was part of a college. So you see, participant observant is the one who intermingle and become same like them. I remember one of the research conducted by the Britisher. So she wanted to know the actions and behavior of the people who are around the mazar, mazari जिन्हें कहते हैं. मदार पे ही होते हैं. So she wanted to know more about them. So she became like them. For 6 months she was with them just to learn that what is the behavior of them. So basically that's how you collect the data. And that is the best way to collect the data. That is the best way to collect the data, to know the truth. And other one is the structured observation, in which you have the planned checklist and you just note it down what is being going on. Discuss the advantage and disadvantage of observation. One of the main advantage of observation is its directness, because you are collecting data directly. Another advantage of observation is that it is possible to observe certain groups of individuals from whom it may otherwise be difficult to obtain information, because you can only observe. For example, someone is illiterate, so how can you collect data from them? Either you can take the interview or you can observe. But in fact, you cannot take interview of them as well, because they will not let you take their interview. So this is one of the advantage of observation. Drawbacks of observation study are reactivity, observer bias, and that is time consuming, tedious and expensive. It is time consuming, obviously it requires a lot of time. If you just say, I just gave example of 6 months she spent time, or inmate in a jail or like that. And I gave you example of my friend who was keep counting cards. So basically it was a tedious task, and it is quite expensive because you have to allocate the resources for that. There is a bias as well, because for example, if someone come over here to observe the class, so there can be a bias with these students or with the teacher as well. Student तो होते ही ऐसे हैं. Most of the students are disinterested, so he will be whatever is going on, but the structured observer will be observing in favor of the teacher. If someone is biased with me, so he will be in favor of the student. So that is also possible. And the reactivity is there. Reactivity means whatever you observe, it does not mean it is truth. For example, if you move around with me and I behave differently, I behave very rash, angrily, so you might make your mind that I am a very short-tempered person, but there can be few events which trigger that. So that is called reactivity. You did not observe me for a longer period of time, so you cannot make decision about me. So there are few events which you observe in a manner which is not decisive. It is not decisive. You cannot make decision about it. Complete हो गया? Okay जी, let's take a break. Thank you.